Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to a kind of special movie. Not kind of special, it's definitely not on a day I post movie reviews. Welcome to a special movie review. I know it's on a Tuesday, it's weird. Today I'm going to be reviewing The Dark Tapes, which came out on video on demand today, hence why I'm doing the review today. There will still be another new movie review this coming Saturday, so treating you guys this week. You get 3 whole movie reviews in 1 week. Whoa. So I was sent an email from one of the directors of The Dark Tapes asking if I wanted to see it ahead of time and review it. Just wanted to put that out there, let you guys know that I was like sent this movie, I guess, but I'm not being paid to review this, not being paid to give it a certain review, hashtag not sponsored. Just a little disclaimer before we get into this review. So The Dark Tapes is directed by names, Vincent Guastini. I'll put their names up here because their last names are something else. And Michael McQuown. I'm so sorry. I really am sorry. I'm not good at last names. Ask anyone that's been watching this channel for a long time. I'm not good at last names. The Dark Tapes is an anthology. It is a series of interlocking shorts, so they are connected. I think there's 4, if memory serves. There were 4 with a wraparound. And all the stories have to do with like very like sci-fi creature, monster, ghost type things without giving too much away. Let's get into my analysis of this. It is a found footage horror movie, and I know I kind of have a very complicated relationship with found footage horror movies. I've stopped saying that I hate them because lately, like the past couple of months, I've been seeing some that I've actually enjoyed. So I have a complicated relationship with found footage horror movies. This one was definitely, any critiques I had on it was not really because it was found footage, except for maybe one, but I'll get to that. It has a really interesting and complicated wraparound. The wraparound is almost like a story within a story, kind of. There's like a wraparound and then like the inner wraparound. It was kind of complicated when I first watched it. I watched it 2 times. When I first watched it, I was kind of like thrown for a loop a little bit. It was easy enough to catch on, but thrown for a loop. You definitely have to pay attention. So there's a lot to it. The camera angles can be a little bit strange at times. There were some unexplained kind of angles, particularly in the wraparound one. When it gets towards the end, it cuts to like a very like a high angle camera that's like, it has like some sort of strange filter on it, which I didn't really, I think it just went over my head, maybe what point of view that was supposed to be. Or maybe I missed them setting up that camera, I don't know. Like I said, like you have to pay attention a lot in the wraparound, and I might have just missed that. And when the outer wraparound, so basically it opens with 2 characters and they find this video camera, and that kind of, you know, like they are watching the tape on the camera, and then that leads into all the other stuff. That's what I mean by like, so they're like, what they're like, they watch, this is gonna get complicated. So the 2 characters find the camera, they start watching it, and what you're watching is like, it becomes the wraparound, and then it ends with those 2 characters again. So it's like a wraparound within a wraparound. Does that make sense? Probably not. You just have to watch it to see what I'm talking about. But when the guy first picks up the camera, it's, I don't know, like if he's picking it up the way I think he's picking it up, I feel like the camera angle was just a little bit strange. It was almost disorienting. Like it seemed like, I don't know, it seemed like he picked it up over here, but the lens was like over here. So you could see like almost a good portion of his body, and when he should have been picking up, it should have been like close to his body. I don't know. It was a little weird, a little disorienting. And with all the different stories and all the different sources of camera, it's a little disorienting because as far as like the camera use and like the sources of filming within each short, it's all different. So there's a TV crew in one, so that's kind of where you get the shots in that one, and then there's one that kind of takes place over like webcam, so that's a different thing. So it's kind of a little disorienting figuring out your point of view each time. Different camera sources made for fresh, just like a fresh change every short. So it wasn't like Paranormal Activity where you have the same exact setup of cameras. You have like the same setup of cameras like around the house, and then you have like the handheld camera going around, and you get used to that within the film. So every short was like fresh because it was a different type of filming we were doing. Like we had a professional TV crew for one, we had the Skype thing for another, we had like just somebody's handheld camera for personal use on another one. So I guess we'll get right into my review of it. It's a very cool concept. I'm not usually big on sci-fi type things, but I think it was a nice blend of horror and sci-fi, so I wasn't too turned off by the sci-fi aspects of it. A lot of the shorts had really nice twists in them. Like you think, especially the first one. I should have written down the short name. I think it's called the Hunters and the Hunted. The Hunted and the Hunters. I think that's what the short's called. I really should have written them down, and now I feel bad that I didn't. I should have written down the short names. What was I saying? That one has a really nice twist in it, and it kind of is like a story within, it's like a short within a short. Like it starts off with like a couple that are experiencing really strange things and they're filming on their own, and then they call in paranormal investigators, and that starts another short because then it kind of becomes more about the investigators, which I thought was really cool and really well done. I got confused when a new title card showed up, like giving us a new name, and I was like, wait, what? But then once I caught on, I was like, that's really clever, and I liked that. The acting, as far as like not recognizing anybody in them all being, I'm sure, like unknown or little known actors, it was surprisingly decent. I was gonna say something about the acting in that first short with the couple with the haunting, about the acting being bad, but once you know the twist, I think it was kind of on purpose, so I'm not gonna say anything about it. At least I read it as on purpose. I'm trying to speak very vaguely so I don't spoil anything, but and with every anthology, you kind of have to review, like you kind of have to tell your favorite and your least favorite one, don't you? I mean, that's kind of the beauty of an anthology. You have so many different stories to pick and choose from. For me, the last, again, I should have written down the short names. The last short about the kidnapping stuff, if you watch it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The last short was the weakest one, personally for me. Although I think it had the coolest imagery and the coolest it had the coolest imagery and the coolest use of cameras. But story-wise, it was the weakest one for me. My favorite one, don't know why I'm talking like this. My favorite one was the first two, or the first one, the one that I've been talking about with the couple and the haunting. Those were my favorite ones. So why should you watch? It's definitely something a little bit different. It kind of feels like VHS a little bit. I've only seen VHS viral in like the first two shorts of the first VHS because I just cannot handle the camera in VHS. But it kind of has that feel to it, like all the tapes are connected somehow. And it's, again, it makes you think you really have to pay attention if you do watch this. The only advice I could give you without spoiling anything is pay attention to what they are saying in that wraparound, and the movie will make sense. If you don't, or if you're distracted watching it, I feel like you're not gonna have such a good time watching it because you're not really gonna understand the point of all the shorts. So definitely pay attention to that wraparound. That's super important. So I'm gonna give it a rating of 3 dark tapes out of 5. I thought it was a super solid movie. I feel like I'm a little more critical of it because it's found footage and I have such an odd relationship with those types of movies. But I thought it was really solid. Definitely gonna watch it again if they distribute it on DVD. I'm more than likely gonna pick it up. The only rating it has, obviously right now, because I am filming this before it comes out on all those on-demand services that I listed, the only thing it has right now is IMDb rating of 7.6 out of 10. I think that's pretty solid. I agree with that. Rotten Tomatoes, nothing yet. Roger Ebert, nothing yet. As far as like kind of like the popular movie review sites go that I always list. So let me know in the comment section down below if you plan on checking out the dark tapes. If you do end up going to watch it, come back and let me know what you thought about it in the comments section. As always, feel free to follow me on social media. I link all that stuff in the description box, and I will link the website for the dark tapes in the description box as well, so you can go check that out. And like I said, it should be available right now on all those on-demand sites, so if you want to check it out for yourself, you can. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, stay straight.